Well, since just about anything that can produce a sound when struck, shaken, or scraped makes a percussive sound, there is a wide variety of instruments in the percussion family. Cymbals, xylophones, tambourines, maracas, timpani, snare drums, tom-toms, bongos, triangles, claves, conga drums, djembes, chimes, bells, gongs, even the piano, all fall under the percussion family grouping. These instruments are divided into two categories: pitched and unpitched. Some pitched percussion instruments, like the marimba and xylophone, and the glockenspiel and the gong, are made to always sound the same pitches, while other pitches of the percussion family are tunable. This would be like the timpani or even the piano. The timpani is tuned, or the pitch is altered, by a foot pedal that when you press it or raise it, it tightens or loosens the skin on the top of the timpani, making the pitch higher or lower. Instruments like the bass drum, snare drum, and hand drums, cymbals, triangles, cowbells, shakers, scrapers, maracas, guiros, and cabasas, woodblocks, and castanets are all considered unpitched percussion. The most famous of all the percussion instrument, of course, is the drum. And drum is normally considered the oldest musical instrument. Musicologists say that artifacts from China indicate drums made from alligator skins were in use as early as 5000 BC. Other examples include drums made from bronze in Vietnam around 3000 BC. Drums appear in ancient cultures like Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome, and were often used in religious ceremonies and cultural events. Drums have also been used as a form of long-distance communication. This dates back to earliest history and civilizations. These talking drums were used to transmit messages and warnings, often employing specific rhythms and tones to convey meaning. Many of these drums were made from large hollowed-out logs, so their sound could travel over long distances. If you think of, just as in the case of the bugle, how the sound da-da-da-da-da-da would mean charge, you can see how a drum rhythm ba-da-da-da-da-da would also be used to communicate warnings and messages. Percussion instruments are especially wonderful for teaching music to children. Instruments like xylophones, metallophones, and glockenspiels can be used to encourage creativity in all areas. Rhythmic games, echoing, call and answer, can be used to create music in children. There are many small xylophones that are built so that the inharmonic notes can be taken off and only pentatonic scales used to have allowed a lot of fun and creativity for children in improvising. There are many methods available: the Orff method, the Kodai method, Kindermusik, and Suzuki method are just a few, but the most popular probably of all the methods. All these methods view music as a language and put a great emphasis on listening and oral training. The percussion family is a large part of the rhythm section. The traditional rhythm section is made up of drums, bass, piano, and guitar. For over half a century now, churches have begun to move away from the exclusive use of piano and organ to the use of a rhythm section-based music. Today, every instrument of the orchestra has been welcomed back into the fold, even the electric guitar, bass, and keyboards. At the same time, larger churches began to grow their own orchestras. This period saw a move from established churches primarily focusing on internal growth to a more intentional emphasis on planting new churches as a key strategy for reaching new populations and revitalizing existing ones. These new church plants usually started with only a guitarist or keyboard that eventually grew into a full rhythm section using piano, bass, guitar, and drums, with vocalists, and sometimes growing into a praise team for worship. Many times a violin or a saxophone, trombone, or trumpet would be sometimes used. Now, 50 years later, this is the industry standard for church music. Since the rhythm section is now such a vital part of church worship, let's spend a couple of minutes now looking at the rhythm section and how it is supposed to function. Some rhythm section goals are to understand the role of each instrument. In other words, every instrument should learn to stay in its own lane. Number 2, the principle of less is more. Playing in a rhythm section is not a time to show off your individual skills. It's a time to listen and play together. Number 3, the principle of allowing the music to breathe on its own and to groove. 4, recognizing and learning cliche rhythmic patterns, articulations, dynamics, and chord progressions. These are essential rules for becoming a good rhythm section. The rhythm section is composed of several instruments, and we're going to now talk a minute about each of the roles of those instruments, beginning with the rhythm guitar. In a rhythm section, the rhythm guitar primarily provides rhythmic and harmonic foundation for a song. It works alongside the bass and drums to complement the rhythms and the song structure and to help drive the music forward. The rhythm guitarist plays chords, often strumming them in patterns, and may also play bass notes or rhythmic figures that complement the bass and the drums. The lead guitar typically adds melodic embellishments, adds fills and solos to enhance the overall sound and complement the vocalist. The lead guitar adds melodic lines and echoes vocal lines and provides moments of soloing to create a focal point and, as the Bible says, a Selah, or a time to reflect on what has been said. The keyboard in a rhythm section's role is multifaceted. It's primarily focusing on providing harmonic support and rhythmic texture, but it also acts as a foundational instrument, playing chords and emphasizing moods. It can double and strengthen the bass line and contribute to the overall atmosphere and texture of the song with its many colorful voices available. The bass and drums finish out the rhythm section. The bass line interacts with the drum beat to help create the groove or rhythmic pattern that defines the song's energy and style. The bass is essential to the feel of the music. The bass outlines the chord progressions of a song, often by emphasizing the root notes of the chords. The drummer's role is crucial in shaping the groove. The drummer interacts with other musicians in the rhythm section, particularly the bass player, to create a cohesive and compelling rhythmic foundation. The drum set establishes the tempo and keeps the band in time and adds texture and dynamics to the overall sound. That is not to say that everyone in the rhythm section is keeping time. Of course, every rhythm section player will be subdividing and keeping the time together. The drummer is also responsible for giving cues to announce important changes in the music, like transitions to another section or the ending of the music. If you think of someone knocking on a door to come in, that would be a cue from a drum to announce it's time to move to the next section. Each of the rhythm section players should be well versed in all the signature or cliche rhythm patterns and chord progressions. The overall job of the rhythm section is much more than just playing correct notes and rhythms. The true function of the rhythm section is to mark the form of the song so that the various sections are presented clearly and in context, in the correct context. The form of the song refers to the song's structure. It is the arrangement of musical and lyrical sections to create a recognizable pattern. It is the way the song is organized. The different genres of music have different forms, but the sections of a song that comprise the form are the introduction, the verse or verses, the choruses or choruses, the bridge or bridges, transition sections, breaks, stops, vamps, which are repeating sections, and endings and tag endings. Not every song will include all of these sections, but whatever the form of the song, that has to be learned and mastered by the rhythm section. Take, for example, the song 10,000 Reasons. The form of this song is optional introduction, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, and a tag ending, which is a tag ending is like an elongated ending. Elongated, taking that last part of the chorus. The form of the song, How Great Is Our God, is verse, chorus, bridge, bridge, chorus, chorus, chorus. So each of these sections must be organized and presented by the rhythm section in a way that makes each section flow together to the next section without confusion. Well, this ends our study of the percussion family and the rhythm section. Next, we will look at studying the voice.